Hey Pisces, how are you doing? We're going to be talking about Pluto in your chart. Pluto's making a big, bold move from Capricorn to Aquarius. Pluto moves very slowly around the sun, takes many years in one sign. It's a big deal when it changes sign. Often in my astrology, I'll say, oh, this isn't a big deal. Like this full moon's not a big deal, or this new moon's not that big a deal. Don't worry about it. Or Mercury retrograde, like it's, let's normalize this. Not so with Pluto changing signs. This is a big deal because it, for example, it was just in Capricorn for 15 years. That's a major chunk of a person's life. It's going to be in Aquarius for upwards of 20 years. That's a big chunk of life, right? So Pluto's presence and in a sign, it carries a lot of weight and a lot of change to that person's chart and their life. And when it moves over the threshold, it's big. It's a big deal. And I often don't say that. So, but you don't need to listen to me. You feel it. Just look at the world, like what's been going on in the world over the last year. And, world events, you feel what a pivotal time this is. So when you bring it back down to a human individual's life, it's big in a different way. So what's happening in your chart is not only is Pluto going from Capricorn to Aquarius, but it's moving from one area of life, an area with certain themes, to a totally different area with totally different themes. Over the past 15 years, you've been working on a sense of community and belonging. You have wanted to belong in a big way. You didn't want to feel lonely or like an outsider. And so you've been working for 15 years on developing a sense of community and belonging in communities and out in the world, and kind of building communities that sync with your vision of your future. You've been working on your future vision, what your life is going to be like, what you prefer, and then living your life that way. So you've worked hard on building kind of this vision of a future for you. And you've strengthened that. You've strengthened your own identity in terms of how you want your life to be and the elements, the qualities that your life needs to possess, in addition to building community. You've also had people in power likely to help you. That's been quite nice and a nice ride, and it's gotten you far, and that's been good. It is coming to an end, but for the time it was in this area of your chart, it did benefit you, and now it's somebody else's turn to have it there. But what you'll be working on now is you'll be working on self-development, like a deep internal journey inward. This is a very internal part of the chart. It's a ton of self-reflection. That's actually not a hard thing for you to do as a Pisces. You're kind of good at this. Or if you haven't been, if you feel like you haven't been trained to do that or taught, you don't know how, you can easily develop this skill. You have a natural ability to do this, even if you haven't done it before. But the ability to self-reflect and to develop your internal world and get to know yourself in a deeper way, that will be what you're working on for 20 years. And when you come out of this, boy, you're going to be so strong. You're going to be in 20 years a force to be reckoned with. So it's worth it. It's worth the journey. It's a deeper journey. It's very personal, private. In this journey, you've been very outward and social, trying to be in these communities and get a sense of belonging. You may turn more inward, some of you, and just prefer to be alone and just doing your own thing. And you might not feel like you need the community as much, or maybe you've spent time building it, so it's just there. it's already built. It's not going anywhere. That is the benefit of Pluto in Capricorn, is what you do build will stick around. So any community that you did build is going to be there for you. So now you just turn your focus and your desire towards something else. You may be working on your spiritual life, connecting to the divine, trying to understand yourself on a spiritual level will be a big piece of your life for a lot of Pisces, maybe not every Pisces. Pluto in this area also, you'll need lots of breaks to just kind of take downtime for yourself. Some of you will need or crave some psychological support while you do this journey. And that's a good thing to do, because it is a very deep journey. It's a heavier journey. It's a big adventure quest inward. And if you don't have a lot of training on that, you may not know how to do that. So to have someone guide you, like a really good therapist, or, just do a lot of, some people do workshops or groups or whatever, but whatever you do, there is this big inner journey that'll be 20 years long, but you'll come out so strong. In this journey inward, there will be some fears. Pluto does govern fear and moving through fear. So there are things about yourself, things about your spiritual life, things about your psyche, things about just the interior you that you're not sure you like, things about yourself inside, the secret things that scare you. And so it's your time with Pluto here to work on that and to get support and to move through those fears by doing some self-development. And some of you, it's possibly because of where Neptune is headed, some of you will actually take this kind of role on in your career where you're a helper, a healer. But to do it well and to do it at all, really, you need to be on that journey yourself. Healers have to always be healing themselves and to help even reach out and get help doing that so that you can help others. So to be responsible in your journey to help others, for those of you where this applies, it involves taking care of yourself and having a mentor and somebody guide you. So getting support. Some of you, this will sound odd, maybe. Some of you, so Pisces has a natural talent with numbers and math and money even. You have this natural talent with money. Understanding it, understanding investments, understanding how money works. It doesn't mean you're always good with money, but it means you understand it. A lot of people never understand money. You have this kind of a way of understanding the energy of money, because the energy of money is much like water. You're a water sign. This goes into like Jungian, kind of a Jungian way of looking at money, but the energy of money is much like the energy of water. And as a water sign, you have this deeper understanding of it. And Pisces sometimes you find Pisces as, like they're big into the investment world or into banking or finance. And they just have a knack with it. It doesn't mean all Pisces, but some do. So if that's you, that makes sense. And so some of you will be developing a sense of empowerment around your abilities with money or whatever, or with math. Excuse me. So, but a lot of you are on the verge of changing your career in some way. It may be a totally different profession. So you might suddenly go into a healing profession or a banking, money-oriented kind of profession, or something very creative. You're kind of poised to, maybe a musician, an artist of some sort, but you may bring more creativity to your work life. If it's not all about healing, it could be creativity and healing. But with Pluto going into Aquarius, it's, I'm trying to put this into words. It gives you a lot of brain power that may feel new, and you may not trust it entirely, because the brain power for you is this sort of wacky, kind of mad scientist kind of genius that you possess. People think, oh, that's a Pisces, but it's really the Aquarius in this area of your brain and your brain space and your internal world is kind of governed by the mad scientist. And so it gives you that, a lot of the nature that people think of as Pisces, but it's really behind the scenes. It's this very Aquarian thing going on. So with Pluto in there, it gives you more brain power, more inventiveness, more creativity, more genius power. It's just kind of, it's like suddenly being given a really powerful new car with a powerful engine, whereas before you were riding a donkey. And so it's learning how to use your brain and the power and these strokes of genius, discerning what's truly wacky and weird and the mad part of mad science, or what's truly brilliant. And so you'll be learning to discern which is which, maybe by some trial and error. But you do have a lot of mental power, brain power at your disposal. There is a tendency with Pluto, more so with Saturn, less with Pluto, but you may go through cycles where you feel a little down or you lose sight of your hopefulness. But luckily, Pluto works in cycles, so you'll regenerate over and over again. So if you ever do feel kind of down or hopeless, you have this brilliant power to regenerate very quickly and come back to life, fresh, new. So just remember that you have a lot of healing power in your brain if you do get depressed and down. But that may involve getting the right help, getting the right meds. It may involve taking action that will help you. So this is your journey to figure out, but it'll be an adventure. It's an exciting time career-wise. Your brain power is pretty extensive. So you'll just be getting comfortable with that and learning to trust yourself and love yourself, frankly. So it's an exciting time for you. All right, take care.